$2 billion.
Yeah.
Crazy, right? That's what Facebook, or Meta, I guess we should say, is forking over to creators. $2 billion. We're digging into all the details today, figuring out what's what.
The really interesting thing here is Facebook isn't just playing catch-up with YouTube and TikTok, This feels different. Like, they're trying to rewrite the rules on how platforms treat creators, put them front and center in a way we haven't really seen before.
Yeah, it's like creators are the new star employees or something. But before we get too far, can you remind everybody how Facebook used to handle these payouts?
Honestly, it was a mess. You had the in-stream ads, those little commercials on videos, which most people know. But then they had these bonus programs. Super hush-hush, invite only for the select few.
Oh, so like the VIP section of Facebook creator stuff.
Yep. Exactly. Problem was, navigating all that, a nightmare for most creators. Each program had its own rules, payout schedules, the whole 9 yards. Just a pain.
Yeah.
And that's where this content monetization hub comes in. It's Facebook's attempt to, streamline everything, one-stop shop kind of deal.
Okay, so that's the what. But how do creators actually get a piece of this $2 billion?
Big chunk of it's tied to this new performance payout thing they're doing. This is where it gets juicy. They're not just looking at ad revenue anymore.
Hold on, seriously. So it's not about how many views you rack up or anything?
Not entirely, no. Now it's about reach. Like how many people your stuff is shown to, whether or not they watch the whole thing or click an ad right away.
So even if my video doesn't make Facebook money from ads instantly, I could still be earning based on how many people see it?
Bingo. This is huge for creators. I mean, consistency matters. Building an audience matters.
That's a big shift. It's less about chasing those viral moments and more about, nurturing a real community.
You got it.
Yeah.
And there are a few pieces within this monetization hub that make it work. Stars is one you might have heard of.
Stars, yeah, I think I've seen that. That, sending a little virtual gifts, right?
That's it. It's been around, but it's a key part of this whole thing now. Viewers buy them, send them to creators during live streams or other eligible stuff.
So kind of like a direct support thing, like tipping, but for Facebook.
Exactly. And for creators, it's another way to, actually earn something, especially if they've got a small but mighty audience really engaged.
Makes sense. Encourages more niche content that way. You don't need a zillion followers, just a dedicated crew.
Right on. Quality over quantity. Engagement over just fleeting views. But stars is just one piece. Facebook's also using those in-stream ads, but in a smarter way this time around.
Oh, right. The ones that play before or during a video. What are they doing differently?
Giving creators more say. You can pick if ads play before your video starts, in the middle, at the end. Even decide how often they pop up.
Whoa, so creators have way more control over how their stuff is making money. That's got to be a relief.
Absolutely. Especially for folks who are really, protective of their brand, their style. Remember we were talking about how Facebook's all about reach now.
Yeah, feels like their whole strategy kind of hinges on that.
Right. And it's in the ad stuff, too. Even if someone skips the ad, creators can still earn based on how many times their video appeared on screens.
Wow, okay, that is different. Before, it felt like you were screwed if people didn't actually watch the whole ad,
Exactly. Now it's about getting your content in front of as many eyeballs as possible, regardless.
Okay, so we got stars, we got smarter ads, and this whole reach philosophy. What else is in this big monetization shakeup?
Well, Facebook's really pushing creators to do more stuff. It's not just videos anymore. Written posts, photos, even those live audio things, it all counts.
So even if you're not a master video editor, there's still a way to get paid for being creative.
Exactly. Facebook's got 1 billion users.
Yeah.
Not all of them want the same type of content, right?
A smart move on their part, for sure. But $2 billion is a lot of cash, right? Spread that across who knows how many creators, and it kind of feels different. How long can they really keep this up, you think?
That's the billion-dollar question, right?
Right.
Everyone's wondering the same thing. It's a ton of money, yeah, but it's not like it's infinite,
For sure. So what's the plan? What happens when everybody and their grandma tries to get a piece of this pie? How does Facebook make this work long term?
Well, they're not just handing out checks to anyone with a phone. It's in their best interest to make sure this whole thing is a success.
Right.
That means they got to see results.
Right. It's got to be a two-way street. Creators get rewarded, but in turn, they're making the content that keeps people glued to Facebook, brings in those advertisers.
Exactly. So while there's incentive for creators to, create, there's also this pressure to create stuff that works.
Mm-hmm.
And that's where things get interesting, because it all comes down to what Facebook values.
You mean what kind of content they're going to prioritize, what they're going to push? what gets you that sweet, sweet algorithm boost? Seems like a recipe for anxiety, if you ask me.
Yeah, it's definitely on creators' minds. Facebook has put out some guidelines, though, like what they consider high quality and all that.
Oh, right, right. What does that even mean according to them?
The usual buzzwords: originality, authenticity, engagement. They want stuff that's different, gets people talking, keeps them coming back for more. And of course, they want to avoid all the bad stuff, the clickbait, misinformation, all that jazz.
So less about chasing numbers, more about creating stuff that actually like jives with their whole vibe, you know?
Yeah.
Stuff that connects.
Exactly. And
Yeah.
that's where creators got to be smart about it. It's not just about making any content. It's about making the right content. Stuff that's going to reach a bunch of people, get them engaged, and yeah, ultimately help Facebook make money too.
Sounds like a tightrope walk, honestly. Trying to please the algorithm without losing your own style, you know?
Definitely a challenge, but it's also kind of exciting, right? This is a big shift. Facebook's dumping serious money into this whole creator thing. If you're willing to adapt, try new things, make some awesome content, there's a real chance to do well here.
So yeah, like with any big change, a lot of unknowns, but this whole thing, the way Facebook's paying creators, it could really shake things up.
No doubt. Only time will tell how it all plays out. But it'll be interesting to watch.
One thing's for sure, though. It's a wild time to be in this whole social media world. Creators are finding new ways to get their stuff out there, get paid for it, and we'll be here to break it all down as it happens.
And hey, if you're a creator listening to this, now's the time to get experimental. See what you can cook up on Facebook while they're handing out this cash.
That's it for this deep dive. We'll be back next week with a whole new batch of sources and another topic to unpack. Until then, happy creating, everybody!